more of that Joker from the animated series attitude a bit. And Joker, of course, says to him, I wasn't the one who lived on a lie. And he goes, Batman who killed Harvey Dent? Gordon, you should have the name Joker instead. Sort of like this moment, like Joker knows that, Harvey Dent died. Rachel got blown up. Which wasn't really that bad of a scene. Like, it's kind of weird though. I didn't really feel bad that she got blown up. As weird as that sounds. So, Joker points a gun at one of the Sons of Batman members and shoots him in the head. In front of Gordon's kids. Which I always thought that would have been such a really menacing, fucked up thing. So, Joker looks at Gordon and he says, heads or tails? And he pulls out of his pocket Harvey Dent's coin. And Joker gives him this ultimatum. Heads, I let you and your family leave. Tails, I feed you to the dogs. And Joker just looks at him. And he throws the coin up before Gordon can decide, and Gordon yells, heads. And it lands on the good side. And Joker, of course, looks at it and he goes, damn. And he shoots the other Sons of Batman members. So, we jump to the pit scene. Bruce gets out of the pit. And the thing that always bugged me is like how he got out of the pit and he shows up in Gotham for no reason. That always bugged me. So, Bruce goes through, on a long journey home. And as he's walking, he sort of he meets other heroes. Like, I always felt like the Batman, the Dark Knight trilogy should have had like a DC character pop up and show up and stuff. So in this one, like in this version, since the DC Extended Universe decides to get rid of Katana, Bruce meets Katana, who she doesn't have the mask, like the cool mask, and she has a sword. So he meets her and asks, can you help me get to Gotham? And she sort of looks at him, and she agrees to help him because she view him as an honorable person. So she helps him get to the plane. But instead, she helps him get to the airport where Bane first appeared in the Dark Knight Rises film. She gets him on the plane, and he flies back to, of course, he flies back to outside of Gotham. Instead, he goes outside of Gotham. He decides to find the tunnel that leads to Wayne Manor. The many stories that you, of course, hear Alfred tell Bruce about the Underground Railroad and all that. Bruce finds it, and he just starts walking. And he's walking, and he's walking. And all of a sudden, he falls through a floorboard in Gotham. And he sees the water, and it, of course, is the sewer. And all of a sudden, he has his back turned, and he feels something behind him. And he turns around, and he sees a scarecrow. And all of a sudden he hears his voice. Bruce Wayne. And Bruce looks around and sees Scarecrow, Jonathan Crane. In the full Scarecrow outfit, holding, I forget what he's holding, like a weapon. And all of a sudden Bruce goes, Crane. And he sort of does it in his Batman voice, but he doesn't. And Crane sort of looks at him and goes, have we met before? And all of a sudden he shoots the fear toxin. Bruce, is stunned. And all of a sudden he hears this female voice. Bruce. And walking towards him is Rachel Dawes. Bruce is stunned. Rachel. And as she walks towards him, fire from her feet shoot up slowly as she approaches, and it grows and grows and starts burning her arms. And she sort of looks at him. She says to him, you shouldn't have returned. You should have stayed hidden, gone. And the fire reaches up to her neck, and she goes, you let me die so you can be this broken man in a bat suit. And you see the fire sort of like burn away her face, and he sort of goes like, I am Batman. And Crane sort of like is stunned and tries to shoot more toxin. Bruce grabs his arm and breaks it. And he starts wailing the shit out of Crane. And all of a sudden, you hear Crane, as the camera turns away, him screaming in fear and agony as Bruce just starts obliterating him with punches and stuff. So I always thought that would have been cool. Like that moment where Bruce is like, I am Batman. Just, I always thought that would have been cool. In my opinion. Just that one moment where it's like, that would have been so cool. So, and this one, as Bruce looks up, there, of course, Bruce, leaves, leaving Crane in a bloody mess, and he walks and he finds a ladder. He starts climbing up it, and he pushes the cap, the metal cap of, that gets at a sewer and stuff, out of the way, and he gets up, and he gets out of it, and he's in Gotham. And he's looking around seeing Gotham is destroyed by Joker and Bane. And all of a sudden he hears a voice, look what crawled out of the sewer, and he turns around and he sees a Joker mask. Not a Joker mask, but a clown mask. It's the same clown mask that you saw in the beginning of Dark Knight. And Bruce just looks at it stunned. That Joker's taken over Gotham. And all of a sudden, the guy points the gun at him. He all of a sudden gets kicked in the back of the head. And it's Selena Kyle, Catwoman. And they sort of have she has she sort of makes a joke saying, man, you stink. It's a funny joke. I don't know why. I just always thought that would be interesting. And Bruce just looks at her and goes, I need to return to Wayne Manor. And she goes, it ain't there anymore. And he sort of is like stunned. He goes, what do you mean? And she goes, Joker blew it up. And Joker, of course, destroys Wayne Manor as sort of like a way of him saying, like, it's destroyed once, it should be destroyed permanently. So Bruce goes back to the grounds of Wayne Manor with Selina. But in a fun way, this is sort of like a trip to the first film where Bruce decides to go underground. Like, you remember the scene where he, as a kid, Bruce falls to the cave, and he sees all the bats coming at him. Bruce decides to go back there. And of course, if you remember Batman Begins, he sort of patches it up with the boards and all that. Bruce decides to remove all the boards that have sort of like rotted away. Him and Selina jump down there, and he goes into the Batcave. So they go down to the Batcave, and Bruce finds a new bat suit. I decided, like, it would be so cool, like, if they just pulled the trigger of just going with a gray and black suit in the Dark Knight films. I know a lot of people love the Dark Knight suit. I'm one of them. But that would have been so cool. Like, if it was just, like, a new suit, like a new armor, gray and, bat suit. So, I'm going to jump to the ending. I there's like this one moment I always thought would be so cool. So, the final battle scene, I want to jump to this final ending, because there's like this one moment I always thought would be so cool. Anyway. The final, like, showdown between the cops and Bane's army. So in this one, I always thought, like, it would be so cool, like, if it was the, Sons of Batman. But in this one, Grayson decides to sort of have this suit. Like, he sort of has, like, this Nightwing suit. Like, since Batman Bruce Wayne was gone, he decides to become Nightwing. I always thought, like, it would be cool to see, like, Nightwing in a Batman film. We almost had it, if you think about it. We could have had it. If you think about it, like, if they did the DC Extended Universe right. So, Batman joins the fight, along with Bane. But somewhere in, like, a rooftop, Joker is, like, watching the whole showdown. And when they get to the fight, Joker goes, "Alright, let it rip." And one of his goons throws a grenade, and it blows up as the GCPD and the Sons of Batman fight Bane's army. Joker goes down to the grounds where, as Bruce and Batman fight, Batman knocks one of Bane's hoses in his mask and just sends him through the glass doors and to the inside. And Batman is fighting Bane, going like, "Where's the trigger?" I always love that moment. You know what? We have to have Christian Bale do it. The trigger and all that. I know originally the episode we were supposed to talk about the death of, not the death of Superman. Superman lives. And, we didn't get to do that one, so, who cares? Here we go. Christian Bale's "Where's the Trigger?" I always love that. The way he said is like, it's pretty interesting. Anyway.